Have you ever just stopped and wondered how your phone knows what language you're typing? Or, when a website instantly offers to translate a foreign page? It feels like magic, doesn't it? Well, it's not exactly magic, but it is a really fascinating piece of AI at work. Okay, let's dive into this and really unpack how our devices navigate the huge, messy world of online languages.
Just think about it. The internet is this beautiful, chaotic mix of human language. You've got Arabic right next to Mandarin, English bumping up against Spanish. It really is a digital Tower of Babel. And this is a massive challenge for computers. So the big question is, how does a machine even start to make sense of all this chaos?
Okay, so take a look at these two passages. To a computer, they're just data, a bunch of characters and symbols. But here's the really interesting part. They're both telling the exact same story, just in two completely different languages. One is Tamil, the other is Sinhala. So how on earth can a machine possibly figure that out?
And just to give you some context, those passages actually come from this book. It's a historical account of an event that took place in Sri Lanka way back in 1981. It's a really powerful story, and the book itself is multilingual, which, perfectly sets up the puzzle we're trying to solve here.
And right here, this is that same passage, but in English. So now we've got three identical stories told in three totally different scripts. For you and me, we can see the difference immediately. But for an AI, this is the core problem. This is the very first thing it has to solve before it can do anything else, like translating or summarizing the text.
So, the piece of tech that brings order to all this linguistic chaos? It's called language detection. It is the absolute first step that AI takes to navigate our multilingual world. So let's take a closer look at what it actually is.
The definition is surprisingly simple. Language detection is just the process of automatically figuring out what language a piece of text is written in. That's it. The input is any text you can imagine, a sentence, a tweet, a whole article, and the output is just a simple label like French, Japanese, or English.
So where does this fit into the bigger AI picture? Well, in any system that works with language, what we call a natural language processing, or NLP pipeline, it is always step one. You can think of it as the gatekeeper. Before an AI can do anything cool, like translate something or figure out the sentiment of a review, it absolutely has to know what language it's dealing with first. No exceptions. All right, so how does it actually work? It sounds incredibly complex, right? But the core idea behind a lot of these language detection models is surprisingly simple and kind of brilliant. It's all about statistics and looking for patterns.
Let's just focus on one word to understand this. The word language. To us, it's a concept. We know what it means. But to a computer, it's just a sequence of 8 characters. And that sequence, that's where the magic is.
And this is the secret sauce right here. The computer breaks the word down into these tiny, overlapping chunks. Often they're pairs of letters. Technically, they're called bigrams or 2grams. Then, the AI analyzes just massive amounts of text and learns which of these little pairs are most common in each language. For instance, the pair ng shows up all the time in English and German, but it's way rarer in French. So by just calculating the probability of all these tiny letter pairs, the AI can make a super accurate guess about the language of the entire text. It's pretty clever.
Now, this might sound like some obscure technical thing, but I promise you, you are using it constantly, probably every single day without even realizing it. Let's look at where this invisible tech pops up in our everyday digital lives. Seriously, think about it. When you paste some text into a search engine, yep, it's detecting the language to give you better results. The chatbot you're talking to, it has to know your language to respond properly. Auto-translation services, obviously, they completely depend on it. And big companies use it for social media analysis to understand what customers are saying all over the globe. It is everywhere. But it's not perfect. As powerful as it is, language detection still has some pretty tough challenges. There are specific situations where even the smartest AI can get tripped up. Let's go over a few of them.
So where does it have a hard time? Well, first off, short texts like tweets, there just isn't enough information there for the AI to find reliable patterns. Second, something called code mixing. When people mix 2 or more languages in the same sentence, that's a huge hurdle. Then you have languages that are really similar, like Spanish and Portuguese, which can look almost identical from a statistical point of view. And finally, there's what we call noisy data, all the everyday typos, slang, and abbreviations we use. That stuff can easily throw the models off track.
So, from decoding a single word to powering global communication, language detection is a fundamental building block of the AI we use every day. It's already breaking down so many language barriers, and that leaves us with a final, really fascinating thought.
As this technology gets better and better, as it continues to master the incredible complexity of human language, what is the next great human barrier it's going to help us break?